Hey everybody, good morning. Saturday, Chillicothe, Ohio. 6 inches of snow. We got a blizzard last night. Sure makes me feel lucky to be a human. And ironically, this morning I woke up, Mike Brumfield anyways. Let me introduce myself. I'm a writer all about the mystery of our species. And is it possible? Ask ourselves the question, the most profound question of all. Could there be life out there watching us, much further advanced than us? I have a question that I call the smartest question. Check out the video, please. Possibly the smartest question ever. That is, how smart can life be in an infinite universe that goes on forever, always existed? The answer is logical. It's an equal equation. Is infinite. How infinite can life be? Infinitely advanced in an infinite universe. Infinite equals infinite. It's about equality too. This video, which leads me to what this video is really about, is the Me Too movement. And I hope you can see my little Boo Bear. I try to do something. I'm an artist, and I see that this Me Too movement's all about sex, and our species is absolutely not transparent when it comes to sex. We don't make love in front of our children. We don't talk to them about masturbation. We don't talk to them about puberty. We don't talk, period. And that's the ultimate frontier besides space that we have to conquer. We have to conquer our own inhibitions about sexuality. We can't even talk about it. And the reality is that I have my own Me Too story. And I realized very quickly, early in life, that life was all about beauty of the flesh. From my 5 older brothers, I seemed to always be competing with, and all they talked about was girls, and that's all Dad talked about. All Mom talked about was pretty girls. And anyway, this Me Too movement of mine was outlined in my book right behind me. I'm gonna reach around and get it, hopefully. Yes, Reality: Escape from Planet Earth. Please check it out. It's at every bookstore in the world that they can get it by ordering it. And then ultimately, you will see that I've written 7 other books. That was my 8th. My 7th book is a book that emphasized or epitomized the Me Too movement. I wasn't calling it a Me Too movement. I was calling it the ancient Amber Alert symbol that I discovered. Being an artist, I've seen that these ancient stories of people here all over the earth live up in the sky is very realistic. And that's what we should expect. Not a spirit story. We need to get over it. We exist. We're real flesh and blood people. We have that proof. It's possible that there are other flesh and blood people out there in the universe that's much more advanced than us, smarter than us for kids. How smart can they be in an infinite universe? They can be a lot smarter, infinitely smarter. So, now listen. My little sister, I've got not only a Me Too movement, what I wrote about in my book there. I was terribly sexualized by my parents in the sexual world. They was always pointing out who's prettiest and then always talking about sex, but never talking about it in a scientific way. And ultimately, I had my first Me Too movement when I was 19 by a police officer in Winston-Salem, North Carolina airport. And he intimidated me to the point he got me to go shoot the pool with him. Make a long story short, he ultimately put me in a position where I feared for my life. I let him perform oral sex on me. And it sickened me and it screwed up my head for a good while. So I learned to get over it and get on with the program, learn about sex and sexuality, and realize that we just don't talk about it. And still today, I have a problem. I have a problem with discussing this openly. My family everywhere, right down the road from me, on the same road, can't talk about sex to his children or openly like this in a scientific way, because his dad is not a person to talk about it scientifically. In society, he still is very rigid. So the bottom line is, I don't want to hurt my little nephew down the road, but I have made scientific discoveries of people who are much smarter than us and see this problem of our lack of open transparency the ability to ask ourselves, can we talk openly to a family member or to another person about our feelings about sex? So anyway, little Brian, I love you. I hope you someday can come talk to me and entertain the idea that there are people out there much smarter than us, live totally open. Nothing's hidden, and we just figured it out. But the only way we can do that is all look the same, and sex be nothing but a scientific study of humanity. My Me Too moment also includes my discovery of this ancient statue showing an erection. And my little sister called the police on me for painting that on my billboard and advertising my books here in Ohio on 23, US 23. I want to say to her in this video, I'm sorry for offending you, but this is reality. We have to be able to talk to our children. We have to have an open, transparent life. That's the future. Technology will outrun us, so we will not be able to hide from it. So let's get used to it now. This is all about love and open transparency. What I'm doing here today, it's my Me Too movement, as well as hashtag a new one, hashtag family bully. Do you have family members that will attack you in the face of this discussion right here? And like I did, I had a brother attack me in the face of my flying saucer evidence, and telling them we can't run from open transparency. We have to learn to talk about it. Our biggest problem in humanity is our temper, which, check out my video, I've got an anger problem. You know, listen, you can't cure something until you can first admit that you've got a problem with it. And the way we're raised, I have a terrible problem with that tortures me every day, with the guilt of killing animals. I was raised to kill animals and devalue them. They were here for us for meat and for sustenance. And bottom line was, now that I'm logical and ask myself what I want to be eaten, I'm realizing, since I've become scientific minded and pursue science questions, I ask myself now, and check out what is religion. There's only two: vegetarians versus carnivores. One makes everything beneath of us not sacred. The other one, the Eastern religion, makes everything sacred. And you have to ask yourselves, could there be people out there so far advanced that they're trying to rehabilitate us by just mind uploading and putting us in from one body to another? I'm out here in 10-degree weather. I'm so lucky I'm not a dog or a deer or an insect or something right now, experiencing the harshness of nature, which leads me to the latest Time magazine. We can't outrun this, people. The animal mind. Could they have a mind like we do? If they do, these stories about these gods having part animals in them and part birds and part things in them could be real. I filmed flying saucers. I got to end this. It's too long. So please check out all of my evidence that these issues, like the Me Too movement, I had a Me Too movement. I have done terrible things sexually to people. And I admit that. Whether it's going out on them, anything perverse is something, if I'd done it, I'm sorry. And we'd have to face it, and I'd have to pay the piper and tell the person that I'd done it to that I'm sorry. So anyway, that's the only way we can cure any of this. Mankind's problem with sex. But this, I'm looking at this magazine and I'm thinking to myself, what a beautiful poetic justice for all of us to be able to live forever, even if we don't get it as a human, and learn to be appreciative of it and grateful for it, and realize we're no greater than a fox, a bird. Life is life, and it's crazy that we glorify zoos and we glorify the preservation of all life, and yet on one hand, on Sunday evening, they eat a great big dinner and don't think about it, and force our kids, don't ask why we're eating the turkey, okay? Anyway, we got to get over all this, period. I'm begging all of you, please check out my Me Too movement, my hashtag family bully movement. Do you have a family member that you can't talk to? That's because they will attack you, because this nature of humanity. I was a young child, the smallest of all the children, and I realized it. It's the nature of the beast. You think you can whip somebody, you're going to be mean to them and dominate them. It's just nature. But it's time that we talk about it. And take care. Please check out all my videos. This Animal Mind Time magazine thing, read it. And you know, empathize with animals, empathize with things, put yourself in their shoes. You'll see why the author is so hard on humanity and critical of us. And anyway, take care. Mike Brumfield. Check out all my books, giving all my money to science, cure all of our problems, and make life as perfect as we can physically make it. Take care.